Welcome back. Causing financial stress, student loan debt remains one of the most pressing issues facing several Americans throughout the country. However, a study from the Center for Microeconomic Data found the 2020 pandemic related pause on student loan payments has actually improved the credit score for many struggling graduates. Joining me to discuss is Senior Tax Partner for the Commission Ent, Jeffrey Almanzar. Jeffrey, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you. It's always a pleasure being here.
Now, I want to jump right into it and talk about credit scores. Now, I know a lot of people know that we have them, but they probably don't know what it's for or what it actually means. So, can you explain, what is a credit score and how do you actually build upon this or make sure that it's in the right position?
Right. So, your credit score is it comes together from three different bureaus, right? So you have Equifax, you have Experian, you have TransUnion, and each one of these three companies they have their own credit score for you. When you combine all three of those credit scores, then you get what is called a FICO score. So your credit score can help you in numerous amount of things, from getting a job, from getting a better interest rate, whether you're going to buy a home or get a car, or even when you go and try to apply for a business loan for your business. So your credit is definitely something that you want to maintain in good standing. I would definitely recommend to have it above 700, 720, so you can really take advantage of good interest rates and not miss out on opportunities because of your credit.
And how do you actually build upon this? Because I think that if you're not really looking to, maybe buy a house, a lot of young adults run into this problem. You could kind of mess up your credit score. So how do you build upon this and make sure that it's in the right place?
So definitely you want to know exactly where you stand, right? So if you're young and you're just coming out of college, it all depends on maybe what actions you took prior to going to college, maybe at a point where you're already over 18. Some parents have already added their children to their credit cards at some capacity so they can start building a history of credit. So that's another, great idea for parents that they want to do for their kids. And then you want to go into one of these websites where you can grab one of your annual credit reports, and you want to know where you stand. It's like when you go to the doctor for a physical, you want to know exactly what's wrong in order for you to know how to build it. And then, starting small, starting a credit card here and there, and building your credit score, and building that relationship with these different companies.
Now, for many college graduates around the country, as I mentioned, they saw positive changes to their credit score in regards to the student loan payment freeze. Can you actually explain why they may have actually seen that change?
It could be a numerous of things. One would be the fact that a lot of some of these kids lost track of when their student loans were due, and if they miss one payment, automatically their credit score starts to decline. So now that they didn't have that responsibility, so they're able to build a strong credit history over time. So the fact that they didn't have any late payments can also add to the credit score. Um, I highly doubt that the debt was not on their credit score anymore. So it should still be there. And so just the fact that over time the credit history has been able to sustain itself at a positive, that would make the credit score go up as well.
Now, I want to talk a little bit about student loans and debt because it's a huge issue affecting so many people in our country. Can you just explain, how this affects young people specifically, who are probably just starting to get, their own money, or maybe this is like their first job? How is student loans affecting them financially?
It's definitely a problem. So there's just a few things that I've noticed in this scenario when it comes to kids in college and student loans, and is one is what college are they going to, right? Two, what curriculum or major are they trying to pursue? And then three is the cost of these tuitions. So there's a lot of kids that go to school and they study and get these degrees and then end up doing something else than what they actually went to school for, or the pay is not enough for them to sustain themselves, to move, to buy a home, and to also pay off these student loans. So that's also something to consider, is what is it that you're actually investing in yourself for, right? For the future, and making sure that you know what the repercussions are of having this debt. So having this type of help or credit or forbearance or this $10,000 forgiveness is definitely a weight off their shoulders that they can advance a lot quicker towards their goals in adulthood.
Now, is a $10,000 loan forgiveness, do you think that's actually enough to kind of change a lot of people's financial situations? Because I know that a lot of people have been saying that President Biden has been promising that. But is that enough? I hear that some of the student loans could be like 70,000, these really high numbers. Is 10,000 enough to change your financial situation for a lot of these people dealing with student debt?
Well, I mean, any type of help is good, you know. So I'm not gonna downplay $10,000, because you know you could give 100 people $10,000 and you're gonna get 100 different outcomes, you know. But definitely, there's a lot more student loan debt. There's a lot more work to do, but you know, I would definitely take advantage of that, and but also look for other programs. You know, there's other, you know, grants, there's other student loan help, there's a bunch of different programs and scholarships that they can look into to help as well. You know, I definitely I don't want to be the advocate to always, you know, have the government, you know, help us as much as they can. Obviously, you know, there's always more to be done, but at the same time, there's other avenues that we can always look into to help ourselves as well. So a combination of both would definitely help the population, and so we can build our future. You know, so definitely, there's definitely a lot more work to do. So I would leave it at that with that.
Now, I really want to know, for student loan payments, how can that actually affect your credit score? Because when I hear credit score, I'm usually thinking of, credit card bills and stuff like that. How can student loan payments affect your credit score?
Right. So it's a debt just like any other debt. It goes on your credit, and if you have any late payments, it would show up on your credit as a negative month that you didn't pay your bill on time. Um, so you know, I honestly don't think it's fair. You know, being that these kids are in school and they're studying, and now they have to have this extra stress of making sure that they're paying these student loan debts every single month, and then if they don't, they get a credit score decline. Um, so, you know, you have to find a way to pay on time, find whatever the bare minimum is if you're not working, to be able to stay on time, or maybe have it like some type of automatic system that would just take the money out of your account on the day when it's supposed to be paid, so you won't get any negative declines on your credit score.
Now, what is a good range that most people should aim to be in when it comes to having their credit scores? And what can they do now to boost their credit scores?
So definitely above 700, you know, with all this inflation and all these interest rates that are coming up, you know, you definitely want to have it, yeah, between the 700, you know, and obviously 850 is the highest that you can go. So, you know, I would look at this as a challenge, or as a type of board game, you know, that you're constantly monitoring your credit. You could download apps like Credit Karma. You can get Experian to have their own app, TransUnion, Equifax. You can also go to any banks or credit unions and open up a secure credit card with a small balance, and just use it. You know, try to pay it off at the end of the month, and have a reoccurring charge on it, and you know, buy something small, and just build your credit history, and over time you be able to see your credit score improve.
Now, we also saw in that picture, like you said, the lowest is 300, which is in the red. I'm curious to know, what can somebody who's in that area do to fix their credit score, because it's really low, and I feel like that could be very challenging. What can they do to kind of get a little bit higher towards a 7 or 800?
So in that case, you want to look at your credit report. You want to see what's on there. You want to see what's causing your credit score to be so low. And there's a lot of strategies. Every 7 years, there's negative items on your credit score that automatically fall off your credit report. There's balances that you might have that are too high that you can start paying down. You can dispute any errors or any items that actually don't even belong to you. There's a lot of identity theft and fraud that can also affect your credit report. And you can call these companies and try to negotiate deals with them and tell them that you're going to get on a payment plan and pay a certain amount, or you can pay a certain amount of a percentage of what you owed. And in time, 6 months, 8 months, to a year, you should be able to get from that 300 to at least 600, and then keep going north from there.
Now, how can people stay up to date with you?
As always, my company, Commission Tax, you should be able to find me in all social medias and on Facebook and Instagram. And now here on your channel, you'll be able to see these videos and share it with all your friends. So thank you. And it's always a pleasure being here. And I hope this information helps a lot of people.
All right. Thank you so much also.
Have
That's
a great day.
That's all for our show today. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kibin Alleyne, wishing you and yours safety and wellness now and always. See you next time.